That round of applause was awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. So this is episode number 436. This is SpeakuP Monday, Destination Indonesia. And tonight, as you probably were well aware, is really all about, Bali Animal Rescue. So most people which live here know that dogs are a major, let's say a major component of Bali, but we're not talking about dogs tonight necessarily. We're talking about, how real estate, for example, is it's going very well here. It's really expanding at the rate of knots, it feels like in some places. But the thing is that with every green space that's taken up, be that a forest, be it a rice paddy or so on, then flora and fauna most likely is being displaced. So now, what we've heard, as Ron will probably testify in a minute, is that, the amount of snake sightings or snake bitings has probably increased. The amount of other, animals, monkeys, which carry certain flus, which we'll get into afterwards, is also increasing. So what is it that we do, right? Most people here in Bali are aware of Tri Hita Kadana, 3 ways to prosperity, right? And one of those is about, human to the environment. How do we create practices for sustainability and so on? So how do we look after animals, right? So tonight will be really important for those like me who know very, very little about snakes and monkeys, for example. So I'm looking to learn a great deal from this wonderful panel that we have here. So now just before we invite our panel to give us a minute or so on who they are and why they're here. So this is SpeakuP Monday, as I mentioned before, episode 436. My name is Robert Ian Bonnick, the founder and the host, also the founder of RIB and Associates, which is a growth strategist and gateway to Indonesia for foreign, medium to large companies, as well as domestic companies in Indonesia that want to grow. And we specialize in plugging you into business. In other words, connecting you directly to your customers, as well as through strategic partnerships, feasibility, risk assessment, and so on. So I think it's time to introduce our panel, or ask our panel to introduce themselves. So I'm looking directly at him. Another Englishman. We'll start with you, Ron. So everybody, please, I don't know what, I feel like I should. Please give a round of applause to Ron, everybody. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Can you all hear me? Yes. Yeah, my name's Ron Lilley. I've been here for, I came to Indonesia first in 1987, so I've been here a little while. And I'm a snake catcher. I suppose mostly that's what I do. I also help with a local conservation NGO that works with marine aquarium fishermen, fisher folk and their families. So apart from catching snakes, and as I was saying before, I get between 4, 5 to 10, sometimes 12 calls every day at the moment. So that's a lot for me to deal with. And the way I try and do this is by coordinating the snake catchers that I know in Bali, and there are actually probably less and less of them, especially since COVID. Maybe I can talk about that a little bit later. It's a long way. It took me over 2 hours to get here because I live southeast of Ubud.
A bit close to the mic, please, Ron.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it takes me a long time to drive to places, and often the snake has already gone, and then it's a search, often in the dark, sometimes late at night, and so it can be a little bit disheartening and scary for the people when they call me out and then I can't find the snake. But anyway, that's what I do, and I like I say, I coordinate other snake catchers as well. I train some of the snake catchers. I've already trained them in safe practices, using the proper tools and making sure that they know how to deal with the public as well. As well as catching snakes, I give snake safety talks to schools and businesses, hotels, private individuals. I'm interested in snakebite management as well. I'm not a doctor, but I am friends with Indonesia's #1 snakebite doctor, Dr. Tri Maharani. and she's a very, very important. She's my Indonesian hero, basically. So snake catching, snake bite, snake safety, snake proofing. I give advice to people, again, individuals and businesses, on how they can possibly make their property safer from snakes. That's pretty much it for the time being.
Thanks, Ron. That's a great start. Appreciate it. Just out of interest, I'd like to keep our audience engaged with us. How many of you, raise of hands, have seen a snake in Bali? All right, about half or more. This one over here. Thanks, Sari. All right. How many here have been bitten by a snake? Raise your hand.
No.
Okay. How many here are scared by snakes? How many here like snakes? You are some weird people, man. I'm joking. I know we have a couple of Aussies in the audience that like, do you like snakes? But his hand was up for all of them. I'm not sure if you noticed that. All right, that's good. Lastly, how many of you have seen monkeys here in Bali? Raise your hand. And keep your hands up if you're scared by monkeys. If you're not scared by monkeys, raise your hand as well. The Aussies love everyone. I love it. Okay. Well, look. So next, I think it's great to have you here. So please give a warm welcome to both Hananto and Sari, and they're going to give you a background on where they're from. Round of applause, please.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us here. My name is Hananto. I live in Jakarta. I came here last night.
Closer.
Yeah, you can hear me well, right?
Yeah, just a bit closer, yeah.
Okay. I had quite background with society back in where I live. I don't have much experience with monkey, but I do have lots of experience with organization. So back in January when Sari contacted me, she said that she want to build a foundation. So she asked me if I can manage to be the head of the foundation. So that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Respect. Appreciate it.
It's all right.
So now, Sari, so if you could explain the name of the foundation, what it's set up to do, maybe how long you've been there as well. That'd be great.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sari. Okay. Actually, very long talk why I built this foundation. Actually, is from 10 years old. I'm already monkey rescuer. Wow. Yeah. So it's taking me like falling in love with a monkey when I was small kid, and then this Bali Monkey Foundation exists like early in 2000, and first founder is Lilley. She's from veterinarian from Australia, and she's not built foundation. But she's because she's vet doctor, and she see the monkey in the habitat in Bali. They lost habitat because of development. So and many monkey being kept as a pet. So she tried to help to rescue abuse and trauma long time macaque. And I joined her right after Corona. 2020. Then sadly she passed away last year, and I continue her work. So I was thinking, okay, I have to show up to people, especially government in Bali, that monkey long-tail macaque is very important here. So I try to think that maybe I should register this as foundation. So I started again, so I moved all the monkey from her place to the new place. So I have a eco-friendly rehabilitation center. We have total before like 80 monkey, but now monkey is getting older. So some of them is die, some of them get sick, like virus kick last year. So I built colony. I move separate the new monkey and the old monkey, and then I make a program for them to rehabilitate them. And every week we have a different program, because every monkey are different personality, yeah, and every monkey different face also. Some people, like my friend is coming, oh, they're all monkey. No, I put the name on every enclosure monkey. If you see, after 2 days or 3 days, you can see all the monkey different faces, you know. Yeah, they're all different.
We're going to have more time to go into this.
Yeah.
So hold that story there, because I know there's more to come.
Yeah.
So there's a few questions that we're going to have, and for those of you who have been here before, it's like a free-flowing conversation, as I mentioned earlier on. There will be a time where you have the chance to ask questions. So if you do have questions in your mind, maybe write them down and put them on your phone or something so you remember. Now, just before we get into the question, and we'll come back to you in a second, Sari.
Sure.
So SpeakuP Monday as well is an award-winning show. It's been endorsed and recognized by Bali Tourism Association, by the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of Indonesia, Forbes Business Council, and the largest accelerator in the world, which is called the Founders Institute. So look, first question, we're going to start with you, Ron. So the current impact of development on Bali's wildlife. If I asked you that question, what would you say?
Well, here we are in Canggu. This is the place where I receive the most calls from. And that is maybe coincides with the fact that arguably this is the area that is being most rapidly developed. The snakes were here a long time before us, and just to tell you a story, there was a woman who called me one night who said, I have a snake in my house. And I said, okay, you maybe send me a photo and then I can tell you if it's dangerous, I can assess the risk. She said, no, I live here now. The snake is not allowed to be here. And so for the next half an hour, I tried to reason with her that the snakes have been there for thousands of years, and she is the newcomer. And there was the problem that we were dealing with. People move into areas, they clear wild land, and the snakes move into where we live because we give them everything they need. If for example, I'm a cobra here. There are cobras here, a lot of cobras in Bali, or a rat snake, which is not venomous like the cobra. I need three main things. I need food, I need water to drink, and I need shelter. It's very, very simple. Now, when we build our places, whether they're actually homes or they're offices or factories, we provide the snakes with all of these things. I would say, I'd go further than that and say a lot of people like to have the, quote, jungly garden with overgrown with plants and maybe water features. They like to have all this, but many of them don't like to have the wildlife that moves in. If I can just talk about England for a minute, one of the biggest successes in saving wildlife in the UK was a campaign to promote the wildlife garden, leaving part of your garden wild, putting some old wood there, putting some places where animals can hide, and those places in people's gardens are now refuges for wildlife that would otherwise have disappeared. I think the same is possible here. Except that a lot of people don't really want to have wildlife in their garden. And I must say, in my darker moments, I say to people, well, be glad you didn't live here 100 years ago, otherwise you might have had tigers in your garden.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I know that some of the questions will be coming up, will be, what do you do, when you see a snake? So let's probably get them out of the way so these guys get the answers that they probably came for. So there's probably 3 questions. So one would be, what do you do with snakes? You've already told us what is the environment for a snake. Then how can you minimize exposure, if there's a way, from snakes towards humans? So we'll start with 2 questions.
Well, with the greatest respect to the developers and the architects and the people who want the open plan houses here, my house is pretty much totally enclosed, and even though it is that way, I mean, I've had a couple of cobras in my kitchen, I've had centipedes, I've had scorpions, I've had monkeys too, and somehow they will manage to get in because this is where they live, and this is where we now live, and a lot of people don't make that connection. Yeah. So I would put it to developers and to architects and to people who are planning houses, because I get called out by people who are building a new house, and they're already trying to be proactive by saying, can you tell us, Ron, where snakes might get in and how we might avoid having them come into our house? If I can just explain briefly about this. I see somebody's property having 3 barriers. There's the perimeter wall or fence and the gates, and then there's the garden, and then there are the doors from the outside to the inside of the house, if you have them. And then inside the house, there are the doors which lead into inner rooms. So there are actually 3 barriers. A lot of places here, they're just open to the rice fields. Yeah. Or they have a 3-meter high wall, but they have a gap like this under their gate where they drive their car in or their bikes. So that barrier is perhaps the weakest one. Yeah. The next one is the outer doors. A snake, I use my little pinky finger as a test. If I can just get the tip of my finger under a door or around a window frame, a snake, and we're not talking only about snakes here, we're talking about, other animals that can bite and sting, mainly scorpions and centipedes, and spiders, of course. You have a gap like that, you can get quite a sizable animal under that. They will squeeze in. It is possible to close these gaps once people realize there's something you can do. And the same thing for the inner doors and windows. But oftentimes I'm asked to give snake-proofing advice to places, and then a year later the people say, oh, we've had snake in the property. We called you out last time, you gave us all the snake-proofing advice. I mean, I'll send people this kind of information for free if you want it. Then they say, but we didn't get round to it. And now we have another snake in the bedroom. So I want to encourage self-help, not least because there are not many snake catchers around, but also I find it, the more people know about snakes and the other wildlife that they are living with, the more they can be proactive in doing something about it in a positive way, or sometimes just leaving it alone. If somebody says to me, oh, I've got a photo of a snake and here it is, and what is it? If I can tell them it is not dangerous, then they have the option to just leave it as a feature of their garden. And that is increasingly happening, and I'm very pleased about that.
That's great. And so, okay, so one was that. The next question is, if you see a snake, apart from taking a photo of it and sending it to somebody, so what should you do? If you're in a confined area, it's you and a snake, what should you do? Are there 3 steps, 5 steps, 1 step, run? Run!
Okay.
1 step, run,
okay.
damn it!
Okay, stand on a chair and scream, which is what some people do. If you see a snake, it's very, very important to watch where it goes. Okay. So many times people have said to me, oh, there's a snake here, and then I drive for an hour to the place, and then they say, we went to make a cup of tea, or we went to the toilet, or we went to answer the phone. We were only gone for a minute, but now the snake has gone, and we don't know where it is.
Okay.
So, one, watch where the snake goes. Don't disturb it, because the snake is small, generally. We can talk about big pythons as well, but generally the snakes are very small.
Yeah.
We're big, we are the monsters. The snake is more afraid of us than we are of it.
Okay.
A snake will not attack you. I know there's a lot of stories about snakes, certain snakes around the world, actually attacking and chasing people. That is absolutely not the case here in Bali. Snakes do not chase people. They do not attack people, and they are not aggressive. Aggression is something that's not in the nature of a snake. But if you bother it, or you hurt it, or you scare it, and it has no opportunity to escape, which most of them want to do, it will defend itself.
Okay. So one, as you mentioned, make sure you look to see where it goes. Take a photo. Make sure you look to see where it goes. Don't move. Don't disturb it. Don't act aggressive toward it, because you're much larger. It's probably more scared of you than the other way around. And then, okay, let's say that that's not the case. Let's say that the snake is frightened by you accidentally noticing that it was there. So now the snake, what's threatening behavior for a snake? Is it that it begins to coil up? That it's beginning to strike? Does it, like, what are the telltale signs that we need to get out of here?
Well, there are 50 different kinds of snakes here, land snakes in Bali.
Wow.
And their behavior differs, which is why the photo, it not only identifies what sort of snake it is, but it gives me some clue about the snake's behavior. Is it a tree snake? Is it one that's going to try and get away? A cobra here, if you meet a cobra in the rice fields, I mean, in general, they will try and get away from you as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Now, the snake that bites most people is a little green viper here, with the red tail.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They call it lipi gadang here in Balinese. The problem with this snake is that it is venomous, and it has a venom which destroys tissue, but crucially, unlike a cobra, for example, which will just try and get away as quickly as possible, the green pit viper will kind of hunker down and get in a small ball and hope you don't notice it. Okay. The number one reason why people are bitten here by snakes is because they tread on them. Yeah. And the reason they tread on them is because they don't carry a flashlight or a torch at night. Wow. So it's a very, very simple fix-it here. If you carry a flashlight or a torch, I've got one with me, a head torch to keep my hands free, you will see the snake ahead of you on the path. And you can avoid it. Again, you stop, you wait to see what it does. In the home situation, you find one in your bathroom. Again, if you can get a photograph of it without scaring it, if you scare it, it will go into hiding, and it's in the furniture or it's in the wall. Then I'm called, and it's really difficult for me to find it. Yeah. So don't disturb it, take a photo. I can assess the risk, whether it's dangerous or not. If it is not dangerous, because I stake my reputation on saying these things. If it is not dangerous, then I suggest to people, if they're happy to do so, to deal with it themselves. If it is dangerous, then I would say to them, keep an eye on it, keep a safe distance, 2 meters away is usually safe enough. Call me, or get me, or one of the other snake catchers that I know to come and remove it safely.
Now, last question before we go to Sari and Hananto. Thank you for being patient, okay? But we're coming to you, Hananto, we're coming. Oh, yeah. Right, we're coming, brother, we're coming. So the question is then, I see a snake catcher with a stick. They say, grab a stick. But does anyone here know what to do with a stick? Right? Like, grab a stick. I'm like, okay, here's a stick. There's a snake stick. I'm like, what do I do? You know. So what is that? Is that like a I don't know, like Aesop's fable or something?
Well, again, it depends on the kind of snake.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's me, that's why I have a car and I don't have a motorbike. I have a car full of different kinds of tools. You know, little thin wires and big heavy hooks for heavier snakes, and snake grab tongs for picking them up gently, and bags to put them in, and tubs and baskets and all kinds of stuff. So what I am currently doing is I'm putting together a snake catcher's kit for the staff of a villa complex.
Yeah.
So, I mean, two things. One, I'm going to be going around this coming week around all of the villas to look for weak points where snakes might get in, and then suggest what they can do about that. Two, I'm going to train the staff. There'll be about 20 staff there, maybe more, 30 staff, to show them how to use basic tools. And again, I don't do this as a business, but I do have snake grab tongs and hooks that I modify to make them safe to use, and I show people how to use them. So it's one of the services that I provide.
And so clearly we're not done. But how do people find you? So Ron, Lilley, where would they find you?
Well, my WhatsApp number is there on Instagram, Facebook. That's probably the best way.
And what's the handle? Yeah.
The thing I didn't mention, I started in response to these things about, nearly 20 years ago now, something called Bali Snake Patrol. That's me, basically. And I have a
Bali Snake Patrol.
Bali Snake Patrol.
Okay.
If you Google Bali Snake Patrol, or you go Google my name, then these things will come up. Right. Also on Instagram and in Facebook as well.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ron. Fascinating. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so let's move on to the monkeys. So, questions, right? So I guess some of the questions that come up would be, let's go from here. When you see a monkey, right, you've mentioned already that they've got different faces, different personalities, different attitudes, right? Some people here are afraid of monkeys, right? I didn't know what to do with a monkey if it came to me. So let's start there. Maybe if there are 3 steps, if a monkey approaches you or you see a monkey, what should you do? What would you say?
Okay. Many people just like going to a monkey forest. Yeah, they just want to see the monkey. Yeah, they just want to see the monkey and then think the monkey is okay. Actually, it's dangerous. I could say dangerous. Why? Because animal and wildlife, they don't have vaccination, and they bring disease. They bring virus. What kind of virus? Or what kind of disease? They bring tuberculosis. Mostly monkey. In wildlife, they bring tuberculosis. How? The tuberculosis virus is coming from animal to animal, or human to animal, or animal to human. Yeah? So I just suggest to you, if you go to monkey forest, don't just too excited, because they don't like when you're too excited, and never give the food to them. Just look, enjoying your time. That's it. Don't try to touch the monkey or be proud, or you look selfie with a monkey, or monkey come crawling to your shoulder and your body. So actually, when you get scratched from the monkey, we never know. Yeah. So when you get a bite from monkey, it for sure is not rabies. Rabies from monkey, it's rare. I can find in Bali and Lombok is rare in Java. What disease can bring from monkey when you get bite? Don't worry, you don't need to get rabies shot, because same like dog. When you get a bite from the dog and the dog bring rabies, and the dog will die within 48 hours, then you will have worried, then you will get rabies. But if you get bite from the monkey, you don't need to get panic. Go to the medical center immediately, got the shot. So when you get bite from the monkey in the wildlife, in the forest, and you worried, you just go to the clinic, ask for the like
the antigen, the
antibody. Yes, antibody.
from monkey.
Yeah, from monkey, because we don't know the monkey carries the tuberculosis or any other disease. Just like get antibody. That's it. There's no need to get shot from rabies. There's no rabies. I never heard people get bite from the monkey and get rabies here.
So then just to quickly go through again, so you're saying that monkeys carry disease, right? And you don't know which disease they carry.
Yeah.
So when you go to a monkey forest, which everyone does, right? I think we have as well, and lots of people are doing the good old, I got a monkey on me, right?
Yeah.
Not the thing to do, right?
No. Yeah.
And if you get scratched or bitten, better to be safer than sorry. You can go to a local medical center and say, look, I've just been scratched or bitten by a monkey.
Yeah.
Can I get an antibody for monkey scratch or monkey bite?
Or just clean the wound, ask the nurse to clean your wound and put like alcohol swab. That's it. Betadine. That's it. No need to be like super panic, like I will get the disease, I will get the rabies. No. Yeah.
I mean, Hananto, so you've been around monkeys, but as you said, you're not a monkey person. You're more an organization and so on. But for you, working with Sari, right? Is there anything about monkeys that you've learned that surprised you?
Yeah, well, I do learn a lot about monkey, They have different personalities. And what I do learn that in Bali's culture, monkey get like a special position in Bali. In Bali's culture. Like I learned about this dance, this ancient dance.
The monkey.
It called Sanghyang Bojok. It's like a divine monkey dance. It's very rare dance. They're not doing it more often for this dance because it's only used when there is a pledge or there is a danger in the village.
Okay.
So and the other one is like they keep the balance in nature.
So monkeys keep the balance in nature as well.
They do. Back in Jakarta, if you go to vacation, you go to around a rural area. It is nice to see a monkey in the wildlife, but we can't see it there. No, there's no monkey in in rural area in Jakarta.
Look, thank you, Hananto. So Sari, why does the Monkey Foundation, why does it exist, Bali Monkey Foundation? So, because you mentioned you had about 80 monkeys first, and a few maybe passed away, they're getting older. But how did they come to you? I mean, people run had an accident and they just bring the monkey to you. Like, how did you rescue in a position of 80 monkeys? How did that happen?
Okay, thank you. So actually, it's all my monkeys coming from abuse. I rescue all my monkey. It's from abuse. All my monkey in my sanctuary is coming from people who kept as a pet in the little tiny cage or being chained on the tree, no roof, no food, no water for many, many years. And sometimes they just hunting, the mother, they kill the mother, they sell the baby, even in the market, Satria market in Bali. So we already stopped sell this illegal pet trade because monkey is not a domestic pet. They look cute. Look at this monkey. Her name is Lilley. I rescue her from Lombok. I got almost every day, I got call from people, from tourists, from local, somebody kept a monkey on the chain on the tree or on the house, or they put a diapers, or they use the monkey as a content, make a money over it, I mean, okay, when they're baby, when they're under 1 year old, they're super cute, they're super small, they're very nice, they're cute, they're funny, just like small baby. But when they're after 1 year, they to become like a monster.
Okay.
Yeah, they're running around your house, stealing everything, broke everything, take your cable out, bang your TV down, and end up the owner, okay, I have to build a cage.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
I have to build a cage. So I took all the monkey as being a cap from people. I put in my place, I have a many enclosure. I cannot put in the same enclosure because there will be fighting. So I have a many space. I build a colony for them, and I choose which one is ready for release one day, and which one is not suitable to go back to the habitat because of the trauma they have. You know, they lose their wild instinct for sure. Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting because again, I come from a place where I know really nothing, and so what you're saying then is that, you know, so the work that you're doing at Bali Monkey Rescue Foundation is that you're rescuing monkeys in general from human beings which have mistreated them.
Yes.
Right? So more often than not, as you said from this beautiful photo here, under the age of 1, they're super cute, you know, like a little baby or a little puppy or a little kitten. But then after 1, in general, these guys, they just go for it, right?
Yeah.
And then because it's like, I don't know what to do with it, that's where they start to chain into a tree or put them in a cage.
Exactly.
And now you get into the mistreatment of animals. Right, and then, so then the people out here maybe who are watching who are like, you know, it would be cute to have a monkey as a pet. Like, what would you say to them?
I could say that I have one friend who have a monkey, and a baby monkey, and she decided to keep a monkey. I told her, like, okay, are you commit? Because keeping one monkey, decide to have a monkey, there's no problem if you rescue them from the black market, for example. She walking in the market and see the shop selling a baby monkey, and then, oh, cute, okay, she start to buying the baby monkey, and actually it's wrong, because it's going to be like if people buying monkey means that the seller will catch more baby monkey. So she came to me, she said, I'm going to keep this monkey. I rescue this monkey, I said, you're not rescue the monkey. You're creating more seller, more hunter. Yeah? You just have to contact me, then I will go to BKSDA Bali to go to the shop to take all the monkey.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe people who are watching here, because one of these questions is, what can we do, right? That's, you know, what can we do to minimize the problems that we create, right? Snakes, it's us creating them through building.
Yeah.
Monkeys, it's us creating them through thinking, it's so cute to have this as a little baby. So, so one thing what you're saying is that there's a prevention, there's some kind of policing of this who you can contact, and they will go to the shop or the place which is illegally selling the monkey, and then what do? Do they find them? Do they close them down? Like what? Yeah. Okay.
The Satria market in Denpasar is closed for the primate trade.
Great.
Yeah, this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes we go there, we just spying them, and I ask them, are you selling a monkey? Are you selling a monkey? They're just so scared, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a good sign.
It's working.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
So everybody here, in about 5 minutes, you're going to have some time for some questions, right? Just to keep you involved, so to make sure you're getting value as well. You know, so when I speak to you, you know, about snakes, you know, for the future, as you mentioned before, you know, if somebody asked you, okay, what 3 things, maybe more, can we do to help to minimize the problems with snakes in the future? By the way, I'm going to take one away from you. Don't build anymore. Take that one away from you. It's too easy. But yeah, what would you say if they asked you, yeah, Ron, I'm a conscious person. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. I do want to build something. Then what would you say to them looking towards the future?
Okay. The fact is that we live among wildlife here. This wildlife is not going to go away. And so I would suggest that people try to learn a little bit more about not only snakes, but about monkeys and about other wildlife here, because this is where we live and this is where they live. There are positive actions that you can take. Unfortunately, I mean, this year I've had hundreds of pictures sent to me of dead snakes. People say, we killed this snake, or their neighbor killed it, or somebody killed it. Is it dangerous? Well, I have two responses for that. One is no, not anymore. But I mean, a dead snake can still bite. A venomous snake still has a bite reflex. So you have to be really careful when you're handling a dead snake. And again, a lot of people don't realize that. They kill it, and then they think they can just pick it up and throw it away. So it's possible they could still be bitten. But the other thing that I've not touched on that I think is very, very important is that snake bite, it happens. It's very, very rare, but it does happen. And in my snake bite first aid guidelines, I'm not giving snake bite hospital management because I'm not a doctor. I'm not allowed to do that. But snake bite first aid management, the first thing I say is that everybody who moves to Bali for a short time, well, more especially for longer term, they go to their nearest hospital or clinic or puskesmas and ask a simple question: can you treat snake bite, yes or no? Because I had a case last year where somebody called me and said, 11 o'clock at night, they phoned, our friend's been bitten by a snake, what do we do? I said, you take them to the nearest medical facility now, you don't wait. You immobilize the limb, you don't tourniquet, you don't suck, you don't cut. These are all details about how to deal with this.
Immobilize the limb. So could you explain that for people?
All right, immobilization is just using a couple of splints, 2 sticks, could be 2 broom handles, could be a couple of golf clubs, could be 2 bits of bamboo. You put one on either side of the bitten limb, the hand or the arm or the leg. It's to keep the limb as still as possible. Now, the nature of the snakes here is that many of them cause a lot of swelling, especially the vipers. In Australia, the Australian snakes don't cause that kind of swelling, so they use a compression bandage. But these are all details. To keep it simple, you keep the arm or leg as still as possible.
So above, below your.
It's really not critical as long as you relax it, because the trick is the venom goes into the lymphatic system rather than into the blood system, and lymph moves around the body according to how much you move your arm or leg.
I didn't know that.
And then it seeps into the blood. So basically, if you use a couple of sticks on your leg or on your arm to keep the limb as still as possible, that might extend your time before you get critical symptoms from 1 hour to 3, maybe 4 hours, which is really, really important. Now, going back to the point I made before, go and see your nearest clinic and say, can you treat snake bite, yes or no? These people who phoned me, they said, yes, well, we want to get the person treated. We've been to 3 clinics already in Bali, and they've said go away because we can't treat snake bite. So be proactive. If you live here, especially if you live here, go to your nearest clinic or hospital or puskesmas, ask them, can you treat snake bite, yes or no? If they say no, then you have to find another one, just in case you have an accident.
That's great advice. Thank you. So Hananto or Sari, by the way, you've got 2 minutes for the questions coming. I know you have them, right? So the future, right? We've spoken a little bit about the process at which monkeys end up being rescued. We've spoken about, what can be done. Maybe we'll get the name of that organization that people can call so they can have that. And Ron, if we get that kind of survival guide from you, the one you gave away for free, that'll be great.
If people contact me, I will send you information on what to do if you see a snake, what to do with snake snakebite first aid and also snake-proofing information if you want it.
Right,
I can
great.
make follow-up visits to the
Thank you,
house
Ron.
as well.
And that's Snake Patrol Bali, right?
That's Snake Patrol, Bali Snake Patrol.
Bali Snake Patrol, great. So Hananto and obviously Sari, is there anything else? We're not done yet, but is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think might be important for people to know about monkeys?
Yeah, probably if you see a monkey being chained or being kept as a pet, yeah, you just call me anytime. I'm available 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because monkey is in my life right now. Yeah, I have 4 kids, but everyone always said I will love more to my monkey than my kids, which is not true, but it is.
You know, like one question, if anybody wants to ask, right,
Yeah.
what drives them? Right, if anyone wants to ask that question when it's your turn in about minutes time, ask them that question. If not, I'll ask them afterwards. But yeah, like think about that. 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Think about Ron, who's always running around doing this stuff for free. So there's something beyond themselves, right? Which they're offering their time and their space to help other people. That to me that's up there as the highest value, you know?
Yeah.
Woo. Hananto, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, like Sari said, there is a lot of reason why people shouldn't keep monkey as pet. You know, other than disease, it's like a very long-term commitment. So if you're ready for that commitment, yeah, well, we can't like. If you're ready with that commitment, well, we can stop you because, yeah, monkey is not like in the regulation is not like very endangered animal. So they don't regulate it yet. Our government, our Indonesian government. So we can like stop you and report you to the police. No, we can't. We only give advice, we give solution. Like the other day, there is a guy who has a monkey. He loves this monkey very much, but like he don't have appropriate place to keep the monkey for being healthy and they rang us, you know. So we give his monkey a better place. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
No worries.
It's almost like a sanctuary as well, you know, that's what it is. So are you or Hadis, are you around? Maybe not, maybe yes, maybe no. Guzman's doing everything tonight, that's good. So if you pass that microphone to our brother Guzman, yeah. So we had one question here, there. Okay, you're on that side, we start over there. I was coming to you, by the way, but these guys, you know. Over here, Guz, yeah, we start there first. Yeah. So remember with these mics, everybody, not down here, somewhere up here. Yeah, close to your mouth.
Thank you. Super interesting also how to react to both of the animals. I have a question for Ron and for Sari, so I hope that's all right. For Ron, I was going to ask you, when you do come and catch the poisonous snakes, what do you do with them afterwards?
Well, fried or boiled or raw sushi snake? No. What I do is
There were some worried people, by the way.
I know,
I saw one
know.
lady over here.
I know. I can
All
imagine.
there was a jaw hit the floor. I was like, was that an earthquake? No.
The thing is, I release 99.9% of the snakes that I catch. The non-venomous ones I release in my garden, unless they're 3-meter pythons, in which case myself and my 2 colleagues, we drive up to Bali Barat National Park and we release them into the buffer zone there. It's a lot easier to move a snake into a new habitat than it is for birds and for mammals, for example. The research suggests that snakes are very stressed if you catch them and you take them very, very far away. So there's one researcher who made this suggestion, which has been taken on by so many people now, that if you catch a snake, venomous or not, you must release it within 20 meters or 50 meters of where it was caught.
Well, that's not going to work.
Well, I've already talked to. I've talked to this researcher. Now, maybe if you're living out in the outback somewhere, and you can go and take it out into the wilderness somewhere, that's fine. There is so little wild land left in Bali, and to release, especially a venomous snake, 50 meters or 100 meters or 200 meters from here, for example, it's just going to end up in somebody else's house. It is simply not practical to do that.
I'm just getting visions. I don't know about you. I'm getting a vision of, like, if you see a guy in the middle of the night, they're kind of doing this, looks like he's carrying like a broomstick. It's not a broomstick. If he stops outside your house and goes like this and then runs right the other way, change your next door neighbor. Move out of that home. It's not going to work out for you.
I'm sorry, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you, Ron. One more thing, I think since Rob has so many great contacts in the tech field, it might be interesting to ask one of them to set up a map or a list of clinics in Bali, because I think to run 2, 3, 4 clinics before you find one, that there's like an interactive map, which you can also put on your Facebook page, which is really good, by the way, so people know, oh, this one I can go to, they do it, Can
I just add about this? I break my rule about taking, and don't tell anybody this, I break my rule about taking venomous snakes out of my house unless it's to release them very, very far away. If Dr. Maharani comes to Bali and she's giving a presentation about snakebite management in a hospital, I take a cobra, a crite, and a viper with me, and I've done this only 3 times with her, but I guarantee the entire medical staff turn out, plus the management, and they thank me because they say, we don't know what these snakes look like. So people's identifications of snakes is very, very poor, which is why you can have all the guidebooks and the posters and all these things that are available in the world. I brought a couple of books with me if anybody's interested in seeing the books that I use here. But don't try and identify the snake. If you regard all snakes as potentially dangerous, you leave them alone. They will not bite you, and you don't have to know what they are. You send a photo to me and I will tell you.
I love that. You had a second question for Sari.
Yeah, one for Sari. Sari, I think it's great what you're doing and your full dedication to it.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering, one, how do you finance this organization? And is there opportunity for developers to approach you to bring maybe what's more difficult than with snakes, monkeys into a new habitat, and also support your organization by doing this?
Thank you very much. I started this foundation early this year, January 2024, and at the moment I 90% self-funded. 90%.
Wait, 4 kids, and you're self-funding this. Who are you? Sorry, you're like a superwoman, Mamma Mia.
Monkey mother.
Monkey mother. I remember that one.
Yeah. So I have a lot of plan on my head actually. Why? Because I'm rescuing, rehabilitation, and I release. Now I need support to release my monkey. Yeah, which is the release program. It's not easy as I thought. I need support from the government. I need support. The area need to be protected. Why? Because I need to see my monkey, what they behave, what they're gonna do when I release them. I need somebody to watch, and I also need to have the survey habitat before the release. How many colony in that place? Because now at the moment I have my old monkey, which is I kept in my place will be, some of them will be forever with me until their end of their life. And some of them, which is I rescue this year from December last year until now, they're mostly young monkey. Just now I doing make a colony for them. I make a group because monkey living in the group. So I choose which one the alpha for them. Yeah. So the alpha monkey, the alpha. From the one colony is minimum 9 monkeys in one group, and probably 2 or 3 males, but always one alpha, one leader. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks, Toby.
Yeah.
Maybe go to Michael.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just a quick follow-up.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, as a developer, if I see that I have a monkey colony where I'm building, would you help to relocate them? And I can pay you for doing that because that maybe can help your foundation as well. Or do you say the monkeys are better, they stay where they are?
No. I live in Lombok, actually. I moved to Lombok 7 years ago. I built my business in Lombok. And first time I moved to Lombok, which is 2017, everything is like still nature. And since ITDC exists and MotoGP is happening, all development like crazy. You know, many hills are being cut, and the monkey, some monkey they kill the monkey, some they don't care. So what I can do is I can help to relocate the monkey. Yeah. Then I can build a corridor for the monkey, because believe it or not, monkey always come in the morning 5:30 until maximum 8:30 in the morning, and come out again 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 6 o'clock, 6 or 6:30. And they're gonna go find the place to eat same way. So can you imagine if you have you buy a piece of land, and then you build a villa in the middle, and it's crossing the corridor for the monkey. So, like it or not, they're gonna come every day, because I buy the land, I build a house, but it's not your land, it's their land. So how to prevent monkeys coming to your villa? Number 1, contact me. I can help you to relocate it. Then I can see how many colony in your area, how many the area, you know, and I can see the corridor, how they goes every day to get the food. And I can tell you when you can start the building. Like if you bring excavator, please let the monkey find the food first until they finish eating. After 9 o'clock, you can bring your excavator to groundbreaking.
Okay.
Yeah. So you respect the monkey will gonna respect you as well.
Wow, it's incredibly intelligent. We'll come to you, Jonathan. So remember, Bali Snake Patrol is one, and then we've got Bali Monkey Rescue, right? Just for those who may be tuning in. So we had another question next to you, Toby. You got it. Good. Yeah.
If I get this right, there is no structured regulation about the sales of monkeys. So just wanted to understand under what authority the people who are selling monkeys are actually listening to you. What kind of challenges you get with them? I mean, if I'm selling monkey in my shop and you just rock up and say, I'm going to rescue the monkey, what would make me listen to you if there is no structured regulation?
Okay, thank you for the question. Honestly, long-tailed macaque in Indonesia is not been legal.
Yeah.
It's still, like people can sell the monkey on the market. People can, it's high demand also to send a monkey for this laboratorium outside Indonesia. That now we fight over it. So we want to make, like, I'm happy that Bali now it's BKSDA Bali Denpasar is issued a letter that
So BKSD?
BKSDA,
Wildlife Agency.
yeah, Wildlife Agency,
Again, so slowly so they understand.
Wildlife Agency.
Wildlife Agency.
Okay.
BKSDA.
Called Wildlife Agency.
Yeah. So they issued a letter that in 2024, the illegal pet trade for the primate is illegal in Bali only, but not yet in Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, and she mentioned before that what she does is that she reports them to that authority, and they come.
Yeah, they can help me.
Yeah, so that they can basically help. So I guess the question that he has is, what authority do they have? Do they have the police that can come with them and help them to enforce the removing of the monkey in this case, or is it like another person, civil, who maybe it's a big guy, something, big,
No.
five hefty fellas coming and say, "Hey, stop!" You're like, okay, So what legal right do they have to stop that person, that shop, from selling monkeys illegally?
Okay, BKSDA Bali is a wildlife agency, so they know that monkey is a wildlife animal, which is not suitable to being kept as a pet or trade them. For sure, they have a right to take from you, and probably I never heard that you pay penalty. Okay, your shop, you selling a monkey, you pay penalty or put in a jail. Probably, I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, but usually they get scared.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a follow up, or
I do actually have a follow-up.
I sensed you did.
So if I get it right, in Bali, this institution manages that, right? But then across Indonesia, there is actually no legal infrastructure around selling and catching monkeys, right?
Yeah.
So I could be actually anyone that goes to Lombok or to Sumatra and then get monkeys and sell them and sell. Actually, nobody can stop me to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so Hananto and Ron want to add to this one. You got fire, brother. You see, you brought out the question. Everyone wants to answer. Jonathan, just grab the mic in front. The mic, just grab it, but just wait for your question. Yeah, Hananto.
Okay, if I may add, we used to have this regulation to forbid monkey from the wild to be sold. But I don't know, in recent policy, I think it's because the high demands for the laboratory monkey, I think the government take this regulation. So yeah, we still need to figure out something about this.
Thank you, Hananto. Ron, you wanted to add something? You wanted the mic?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump in here on monkey business, but I was...
by the way, I knew that was coming. I was waiting for him. I was at Ron's house. I was waiting. I was like, damn it, Ron, say it.
I got there.
A matter of time.
No. I've just read a paper about the illegal trade in orangutans. Now, long-tailed macaques are relatively numerous still. There are relatively very many of them throughout many of the islands here. In contrast, the orangutans, there are now 3 species of orangutan in Indonesia, and they are all endangered. And yet, what this report says is that the trade, the numbers have gone down drastically for all 3 species, the Bornean and then the 2 Sumatran orangutans, which are for a long time been nationally protected. The numbers have dropped, but the numbers of cases of people keeping orangutans has gone up in recent times. So this business about, we want to keep a monkey or we want to keep an orangutan because it's cute, people operate at that kind of level. Now, the other thing that this report says is that enforcement, and again, I want to be careful and I want to be reasonable about making criticisms like this, but enforcement of wildlife laws and regulations, because I have followed some of the illegal wildlife trade here. Enforcement is still not strong enough to be able to cope with all of these illegal activities. The internet, for example, allows you now to buy very many endangered animals which was not the case before. So the answer to this, in my opinion, is by educating people about don't buy monkeys, don't buy wildlife, and make them understand why these things are so damaging and so wrong. This supports the government and the regulations, which are the regulations are there. There are piles of regulations, but enforcement throughout, whether it's orangutans or rhinos or elephants or all kinds of wildlife, is still very weak in Indonesia. So community actions as well with local people is also, it's very, very important to teach people some positive ways of dealing with wildlife rather than just buying it because it's fun to keep a baby monkey. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Jonathan, you had a question? Mike, when you're ready, Guzman.
It's a little bit off topic, but I'm very curious to find out, are there restaurants in Bali that serve dogs? Is that true? Or is that just a rumor?
Dog restaurants?
Well,
Dog meat.
Yeah, it's on the menu.
Hananto?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Erwin, masih ada.
Really?
Okay.
So I'm told, yes.
Yeah. There you go. So, next question.
Well, I have another question to follow up.
Yeah, okay, quick, let me go. Come inside,
Yes,
my darling.
quick
You want
one.
to answer that question?
Next month, 4 people are being prosecuted for 15 kilos of dog meat.
Right. Next month, 4 people are being prosecuted for
Having 50 kilos of dog meat.
having 50 kilos of dog meat. Okay? Jonathan. Yeah.
Good news.
On topic question.
Yeah, it's on topic, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rob, I'm very curious, how did you get into this business with the snakes, and how many people do this?
Oh, I didn't like doing.
Oh yeah. So good.
I didn't like doing sports at school. Look at me. You know, I'm not the sporty type. I preferred working in museums when I was already at school, and then I worked in a number of animal collections. I worked in 2 of the biggest snake collections in the UK for a while. Why do I do it? Because they're fascinating and they're wonderful, and there are so many reasons, positive reasons, why I like not only snakes, turtles. I used to look after these are land turtles. You know, they're not dangerous, but they are fascinating.
How many people in Bali do this?
Well, 2 answers to your question. One is that the number of snake catchers has, I think, gone down. Certainly the competent snake catchers, the numbers of competent snake catchers has gone down during COVID primarily, but a lot of people were wannabe snake catchers who thought they'd lost their jobs and they'd go and catch snakes in people's houses, and then they can sell them to the snake restaurants, or they can snake them to the hobbyists. It's a very, very huge hobby. This is another issue now in Indonesia. I mean, you know, you can buy. There are people in Indonesia keeping rattlesnakes, mambas. There are, to my knowledge, there are at least 4 anacondas here in Bali being kept. I mean, it's fine when they're small and cutesy, but when they're 5-6 meters long, just like crocodiles, that's the reason why there are crocodiles now in the mangrove swamps here, because little cute, come and see what I've got in my bathtub. Hey, look, I got a crocodile. Oh, great. And then it's this big, and then it's this big, and then it's big enough to take your hand off, and then people let them go.
Mamma mia.
So these things, this is a new phenomenon in Indonesia, the keeping of exotic reptiles, and well, I mean, I do it because it's I can't fix your motorbike, you know, or your television.
So we've got a few more questions. If you bring it around that way, Jonathan, yeah, and bring it back to here. So hands up for those who have questions. You have 1? Yeah, 2, 3. All right, 4. Okay, you got it. Yeah, all right.
Shall I ask first, or shall I pass?
No, you're good, brother. And then we're going to hang over here.
First of all, I have a question to you. You told us that there's like, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yes,
just remember,
no?
mic close to your mouth. Yeah.
So you said there's you should go to a hospital, and you named something at like. Do you name 3 things? Hospital and something else. Like the third thing, what was it? I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the Puskesmas. Sorry, the Puskesmas is the local clinic, the very small clinic, often run by paramedics at the village level.
Ah, all right. Thank you. I'm the gringo, so I don't know this.
Listen,
No,
brother,
it's
I
a fair
know
question.
either, man. I didn't know either.
It's a fair question, but remember again, and I say this with respect. There are again, 2 things. If I can say this about the use of the internet these days, one is that there are a lot of traditional cures, including plunging. If you're bitten on the hand by a snake, there's a say YouTube or a Instagram video. What they suggest is that you plunge your hand into water as hot as you can possibly stand, and that will somehow neutralize the venom. Says Doc Maharani, there are people going to hospital who have been bitten by snakes who are now suffering from burns
as well
because of that. And the other thing I would add is that there are, again, from Dr. Maharani, because she's treated thousands of people in Indonesia for snake bite. She relates a story where, and again, don't quote me, but in a 2 or 3 month period, there were 15 young teenagers who were watching these videos of people doing this crazy stuff with snakes, venomous snakes, and thinking, yeah, I'm a lonely teenager. I want to be famous. I want to have lots of likes. They got themselves venomous snakes. 15 bites, 8 of them dead. Directly because they copied what they saw people doing on these social media sites. So it sells warning bells to me. There's a lot of really crazy stuff out there.
Thanks, Ron.
Yes. So no life hacks from the internet on snakes. I understood. All right.
Thank you.
I have one more question.
One more question? Okay.
Yeah, on this.
Microphone to your mouth.
What?
Microphone to your mouth.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not used to that, but I'm getting there. Sari, I wanted to ask on the behavior, like on monkeys. I've seen, for example, I was in Uluwatu last time I was here, and I've seen monkeys near the road, and they were like sitting around and like really close to the road. It was even one on the road, so that's why I stopped with the bike and waited till it passed. Like, is there anything to do? Like, because I drove past by after he crossed the street, but I know there's like more monkeys on this side, so they're going to be passing all over the place. What can you do in this kind of situations?
Okay, thank you for a good question actually, because many people like driving a bike, driving a car, like see the monkey on the side of the road, okay, stop. Oh, it's cute, so take a picture, get out from the car, stop your bike, and then try to have something from your pocket, like a piece of candy or chip from your pocket. Actually, it's not a good idea to give anything. You can just stop, take a picture, and relax. Just relax. Because if you are too excited, the monkey will attack you. If you give food, and he's gonna call all his colony, all his friends. And if you don't have any food left over, they're gonna attack you. Wow. Yeah. So when you met monkey or see monkey by side of the road, just slowly drive and take a picture, take video. Yeah, if you're not stop, just stop and not too close. Just far away. Yeah, just relax, not too excited, not too just. And if you get attacked from the monkey, number 1, keep relax, like a dog. Like dog can smell, like shark can smell when you are panic. Wow. Yeah, like a monkey. You keep relaxed and don't look at one of them. Lower your body. You squat. You have to squat. Don't look at them. You squat and you go back slowly. Squat. never ever higher than the monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, if you higher than the monkey, they don't like it. They're gonna attack you. Don't panic. Just don't look. Just relax. Don't look at them. Try to lower your body slowly, squat, and move backward slowly, and just go away.
Yeah, great question. I mean, part of it, as I said tonight,
Yeah.
I know nothing about any of this. So I'm going to watch this episode again and learn. I'm sure everybody here is learning. Are you getting some value, people? Just say I. Yeah. All right, we'll give it like. Are you getting value? Say I. I am getting value. That was shocking, but it was good enough for now. Thank you very much. All right, next question is Toby. Yeah.
All right. So, I just want to I'm going to ask you a question, but I just want to comment about the way we handle wildlife in Australia. It's quite different, and I wish maybe Indonesia could take a leaf out of that, from the fact that every native animal in Australia is protected, so you cannot keep it as a pet. And there are some serious laws about wildlife trafficking in Australia, and people do go to jail for this sort of stuff. It's because it's absolutely abhorrent from my perspective. But I would just wish that maybe Indonesia would take a leaf out of that. And of course, there's lots of things that bite you in Australia. So we just learn to see a snake, we avoid it. We let it go. We just go around it and not. It's just common. It's just so common. Unless it's in your bathroom or something, in the toilet or whatever, then we call the snake catcher and they catch it and release it. But I just wish more people would respect animals and their rights of existence. Anyway, so yeah. You got a comment?
If I can respond briefly to that, if that's possible. The issue that is brought up here time and time again is that a lot of people, I mean, maybe hundreds and thousands of people in a population of 230 million people, their livelihoods depend on the capture and sale of wildlife. Now there are all kinds of issues here. The local NGO that I work for that works with fishermen who catch marine tropical fish and other marine organisms. You know, to give you an example of how that trade works, is that there's a little fish that only lives, called the Bangai cardinal fish, and it lives in Sulawesi, and they sell it for 100 rupiah, or perhaps 150 rupiah, not 150,000, 100 rupiah. In New York and in London, that fish sells for $35. Now, there's a fair trade issue here. So these poor fishermen who are selling these fish for 100 rupiah, they will have to collect 10 or 15,000 of those fish to be able to feed their families. It's the same with the snakeskin trade. They're paid so little for catching. You know, there are no snake farms here like there are in China, where people breed snakes for the snake meat, snake blood, snake skin trade. None of that happens in Indonesia. There's no commercial breeding. They just catch them from the wild. And the people who catch them, that's their livelihood. That's how they feed their families. So it's a very, very difficult thing to argue with people about, well, what do you do? I would add that in the case of the marine aquarium trade, once people find the way to breed these fish in the, quote, developed countries where the buyers live, where the majority of the buyers live, they don't want to buy them from here anymore. And so, but those kind of issues, then all those people who are making a living out of something, illegal or illegal, suddenly have no jobs too. And that's an issue that's often overlooked in this whole wildlife trade business.
That's a really good point. Toby, I would ask you just to go straight to the question after that, but thank you so much. It's a great point, and again, learning some things here.
Sure. I'm just fascinated about the monkeys and how you pick an alpha. how do you know it's an alpha? What do they like, or on Instagram or something like that? Like how do you know they're alphas? And the second point is, how do you select the colony? Because they need to get along with each other. So is it like observation, or is it just knowledge? Or that's fascinating. Yeah.
Thanks, Tobes. So we'll go to and then we'll finish with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So for me, choosing a colony it's not difficult, easy, simple. I have to know them first. As I told you, like every monkey are different personality, different character. Every monkey, different face. So I have to see which one is a good one and which one bad one, which one noisy, which one very loud, which one very like Mavia, I can say, like very naughty. So I separate them, and I know how to put the one colony. So, for example, I have a one enclosure, I have 3 monkeys inside, and I have another report that another rescue, and I have to see this new rescue, what this behave look like, and which colony I can put them. Yeah, so how? I put the new rescue monkey, put in a small cage. I put the cage next to the enclosure for many days. And I'll see if they are like fighting in the first day, let them be. Second day, they're still fighting. Okay. The third day, they're not fighting, but they're grooming. Then I don't just try, okay, they're fine. No. I have to see they're grooming nicely until like at night they are hugging each other through the 2 cages. Yeah. And the between cage. And after that, the next day, I can see again if they're grooming or they're fighting. So if they're grooming again, maybe in the day number 5 or number 6, I can put the new rescue monkey to the enclosure. Yeah. Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Great question, Tobes. So, you got a question there as well?
Yeah, if it's okay, I would like to ask 2 questions then.
Making a quick sound.
So, on the way to our farm, I passed by a small neighborhood, let's say. Maybe it's a small banja. And right next to the road, there are 2 cages, and there are monkeys inside. So I'm thinking that they were caught illegally. And the question is, like, if you guys have the option to free them, first of all, that would be the question. Is that an option for you guys? I will give you the location then, and also if they know that you guys have been there, or when you guys have been there, what will stop them that they will just bring the cage inside of the house or whatever, or like where it's not openly displayed? So, or is like the penalty already so high that they don't try to keep monkeys anymore?
Okay. A lot of report to us almost every day, and we always send someone, our catcher, to check. And if it's difficult, and I go by myself to talk to the owner, how long they kept the monkey and how they got the monkey. So if the owner said, "Oh, we kept it on the baby," so then I have to take it. If it's very difficult to discuss with the owner, I have to again ring this agency conservation to help me to rescue the monkey. If they kept the monkey less than 3 years, possibility it's easy for me to bring back the monkey in their habitat, but not immediately. I have to bring in my place. I have to give them a program, just like school, how to get ready to bring back to the wild instinct. How? Just together with another colony which is ready to get release. So if they kept after 5 years, I have to see again this personality. Sometimes they lost their wild instinct. They can't. Yeah. Possible for me to release, but it takes lots of time for them to learn.
Thank you, Sari.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank
Second question.
Yeah, second question for Rob.
Yeah, for Ron. Yeah.
Ron, sorry.
Ron, Rob,
Yes.
Rob. Just don't call us Rob Roy.
Okay, I will try. On our farm, maybe I told that before, we sometimes have snake sightings even. I mean, obviously there's a value for the snakes because they do a little bit of pest control in the.
They do a lot. They do a lot of pest control.
So,
if I can just interject there, the research that's been done on mainland Asia suggests that if you have a farm area and you enclose it and you take all the snakes out, also the owls, the birds, you take them out, the farmer can lose up to 50% of their crops to rodent, to rat damage.
Yeah.
And that, for a poor farmer, is extremely seriously bad news.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we experienced that. We have a lot of holes that have been dug, and I guess that will be rodents. And so the question is like, can I still build something for the snakes so that they have kind of an habitat, that they still continue doing the pest control, which is helpful for us, but should I be cautious and take precautions as you told us before, that just keep my distance and let them do their thing, but they still have a space where they can like have a shelter or whatever?
Well, if what I say to people is, if the snake is not dangerous, you know, a cobra living underneath a house, which happens quite often. Cobras take up refuge underneath the foundations of a house because there's a narrow space there for the cobra to live. But if it's something like a rat snake or one of the whip snakes or one of the other non-venomous snakes that eats rodents, just let it be. The only thing I would say is, and we've not mentioned this before, dogs and cats make snakes very dangerous. People think that their dog or cat will somehow protect them from a snake. I mean, I've had a lot of calls where the dog has been... Actually, a lot of imported dogs, Bali dogs, tend to keep their distance. But imported dogs, hunting dogs primarily, they'll go in for the kill. They get bitten on the face. I had one last week that was reported to me, or on the forepaw, and they are dead. And so people lose their treasured family member. I've had people phone me, "Oh, my dog's been bitten," and the dog has died while the people are talking to me, because all the vets are closed after 6 o'clock, or many of them are. The other thing I would say is cats. It's not funny really, but cats bringing presents for their owners. Cats. Some cats do it, some cats don't. Again, there was this is now 2 years ago, but in a week there were 5 different people with 5 different cats that had 5 different cobras brought into the houses. Now, 3 of those cobras were already dead. The snake is, yes. The other 2 were still alive, but the story that makes me laugh, it doesn't make me laugh really, I shouldn't laugh. The cat's owner was having a rest on a Sunday in bed, and the cat jumped onto his bed with a live cobra in its mouth, and that ruined his lie-in on a Sunday. So you know, if your cat has a tendency for bringing in wildlife, cats kill so much wildlife anyway. But that's, you know, people like their cats, but for a cat to bring a venomous snake into a house, it's potentially an accident waiting to happen.
There's so many things which come out of tonight's show. You should have your own stand-up comedian show. You, my darling, need to be on TV and stage and just get the interest, because you're amazing, all of you. So we got the last question, but before I want to go to that, because you've come, tell people about your farm. 30 seconds. Just tell people. Okay. I think it's amazing.
Okay. Thank you. Like 50 minutes from here in Western Tabanan, we are trying to build a regenerative farm with permaculture principles, and ideally we have 2 plots of land. One should be built with permaculture principles. That's why I was asking, what can we build a shelter for the snakes, because they're there anyways. So. And the other one should be a syntropic agroforest. And ideally, we want to have this as a pilot project and a show and tell for the local farmers, that we can help them transition to a more sustainable way of doing farming, and ideally do the organic waste management of the community as well. And if that works out and we can make it profitable, we would like to branch it out to all kinds of communities all over the island and all over Indonesia, and ideally globally at some point as well.
So firstly, thank you very much. Secondly, pass on the mic. Thirdly, we started a Tabanan community, which I'm not sure you're aware of. So there's almost 300 people in there at the moment. And it's a mix of, I've worked with the local government and a king in Tabanan for about 5 years. And so putting this community together, the idea is that Tabanan, for those of you here, is on that route of the next development center, right? So Parerenan, Sese, now you get into Tabanan. So the idea behind this group, of which there's government, there's kings, there's developers, all different in the ecosystem, they're all in there. But the idea is, pardon the term, is monkey see, monkey do. So in other words, the idea is that there's guys in there who are doing some incredibly sustainable projects. And the idea is that instead of building these places that, let's say, aren't really in harmony with what is around it, they get a great example of someone who's doing ecotourism, who's doing this, so they think, hey, I could do the same thing. The next thing is that the next thing we'll be doing, which is, I'll say it, is, so Tabanan is pretty much like the food basket of Bali and beyond, right? So what we're looking to do is to create a program where Tabanan becomes the smart farming capital of Bali and Indonesia. And there's a bunch of different things that we're doing around that. So that's why you should join that community, be a part of it. There's some very interesting minds in that community which you would definitely harmonize with. So thank you for coming, and thank you for speaking for everybody, by the way, but I particularly like those who are going forward and taking action, right? Lastly, my brother, I want you to tell people about, was it the largest show in Germany for vegan? Just tell them, because I want people to know. It's great.
Okay, I'll make it short. Yeah, I'm Yannick. I'm the founder of This Is Vegan magazine and the host of the Plant-Based podcast. So if you like to know more about animal welfare, veganism and stuff, please listen to Plant-Based. I want to join you. It's in German, actually, but now the next ones will be in English too, so maybe you can listen to it.
Yeah. So it's called Plant-Based?
Plant-based, right.
And it's based from Germany, but you can find it obviously on the usual podcast channels.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all over the place.
Great, bud. And what's your name?
My name is Yannick.
Yannick, wonderful. Thank you. So your question.
Yeah, my question is, so thank you for being a voice for the animals. For first, really cool what you're doing. I was talking to many people which are doing like sanctuaries on animal welfare, and some of them told me if they speak up for the animals like you do with closing the market with the monkeys, they are getting in really big trouble, because it's a big money business for sure. Did you have something like this to get in trouble because of your work too, or is it easy for you to do it here?
Thank you for your question. It's a good question, actually. So for me, number one is giving awareness and campaigns. I mostly go to local school or teaching people, how, for example, like in my place in Lombok, many people hunt for the baby monkey for them to keep as a pet, or they kill the monkey for they have a cornfield in Lombok, so the monkey come to steal the corn. So all the farmers try to trap the monkey, and the monkey, they didn't let it go, so they kept the monkey. So I always try to give the campaign to them start to talk to the local people and give explanation from to the government how to prevent this happen, how to stop illegal pet trade, especially monkey. Why? Because monkey is not domestic pet. It's not like cat or dog. You keep a monkey after 1 year, it's horrible. It's a monster. So you cannot handle them. So the monkey will end up in the cage on the chain, and also dangerous. Why? The monkey can escape, and the monkey will run to neighborhood. The monkey can attack kids. The monkey can attack people. So this is how we educate people. If you keep a monkey, then you have to have the consequence. Why? Because, like it or not, when the monkey get bigger, they have a male one, they will have a big teeth after they're 3 years old. And they're gonna be very aggressive. Even they're a pet. Yeah, they can be very aggressive. They can take the chain out and they can break the cage and they escape. And they're gonna, for sure, they're not kill people, but they can break your face in second. Yeah, then I educate people like that. So I told them, assuming like you keep a baby, now it's okay, cute, but after 1 year or 2 years, and especially it's a male monkey, can you imagine if this monkey is escape, attack your kids, grab your kids, scratch your kid's face, like super bad? What you gonna do? You're gonna blame your monkey or you're gonna blame yourself? So I educate people like that. So and then they know what's going to be happen. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. So we're going to bring that microphone back, Brother Guzman, to here. So we're going to... You have a question, darling? Yeah? Just wait. All right, so this is the last question. We're a bit over time, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So we're going to pass the microphone to Jana. And then just while we're getting there, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a last question from Jana. Just wait for a second, darling. Then I'm going to ask you one question, right? And we'll close after that. And that question is, why do you do what you do? Right? So just give yourself time to think if you need it. So we have Jana's question. I'll do a bit of a closing, and then I'm going to go to you and ask that question, okay? All right, Jana.
Thank you so much for your talk. I just wanted to ask you all about a person maybe in the government who have done the most at this moment in Indonesia to stand for animal rights and actually have achieved something in it, or maybe your favorite organizations that are either NGOs or those who actually have real power to affect all of this illegal trade, animal abuse, mistreatment, because I understand it's great you guys are educating, but it's a big problem, and a lot of people in power are actually benefiting out of it in terms of making money, right? Making sure that the laws are not in place. So please let me know about those organizations or maybe those people in the government or certain authorities that you want maybe to work more with, or would love to push the knowledge towards, and why is it working or not, what they have done or not. That's what I would love to learn. Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Jana. So we'll bring the microphone back. So everyone got the question, yeah? Yeah. Okay. No. You can say.
Authorities, NGOs, people in government who actually have done something against the mistreatment of the animals, for the implementation of the regulations that can actually stop it. That exists in Indonesia, because I don't think it is, right?
Okay, so if you pass the mic back, so they've all got a mic each, and then so maybe who wants to start answering that one? Yeah, Ron can start, and we'll bring that back over here.
Okay, just quickly in answer to your question about who can do what.
Have done something.
Well, in defense of NGOs come in for a lot of criticism, and there are some justification for that too. I mean, I've worked for some of the big international wildlife conservation NGOs and some local ones as well. I don't want to say grudgingly, but there's been a kind of an uneasy relationship between the government and the NGOs, because the NGOs can often generate quite a lot of funds, which...
I know. The question is, who actually in the government is a real deal? Who's actually doing something to implement regulations for it to work?
Well, it depends on who's in power at the time, because these things change from one season to the next, if you like. There was a minister called what was his name? His family name was Kusumatmaja. He's dead now, but he was very, very vocal and very forceful in the environmental, in the conservation field. So I would say that it depends very much on the individual who's in power at that particular time. But NGOs are crucial because they have often got much more access to local communities where this kind of education can take place. And there are the big international NGOs like WWF who have been here for very many years, who have done, they've done, in the balance, they've done some really wonderful work for wildlife conservation. The local NGOs they're still coming up. They find it much more difficult to get funding. This is a problem for a local NGO to survive here. But the local NGOs have so much more, they have many more inroads into the local communities. And so they are the ones who could really do with international support, in my opinion.
But the government department, which one? Like anyone who's still alive in the government or any authority that's actually pushing the agenda and regulations.
Yeah, so we'll pass that one on and we can answer that question. Thanks, Jana. Yep.
Yeah, all right. For the authority, if I can give my opinion, is the political party. Here in Indonesia, if you want to push some regulation, you go to political party, because here in Indonesia, NGO doesn't speak much, not unlike in other country. I do know some NGO here in Indonesia, like we also have Greenpeace here, and similar NGO. But yeah, if you want to push something, you must go to the political.
But who? Which one?
Party.
Which party? Which department? Which government department? Agricultural? Do you even have one that's...
For wildlife, we have like Ministry of Forestry, Forestry and Environment. But yet again, the minister came from a political party too, So it's like a political country here in Indonesia.
Oh, we know it's a lot of mafia. Nothing's gonna work. Who is the guy that you like? Who you think you might want to work with? You might potentially support?
Well, the current ministry is good. The Siti Nurbaya.
Which one?
The Ministry of Environment and Forestry.
You don't have a favorite person in the government or an authority, organization?
Not really. But yeah, there's like government-run agencies, separate from the government itself. Like there's a Kahati, is enforced for wildlife conservation and stuff. Yeah.
And what is this Kahati?
Kahati is like an NGO, but like subsidized by the government, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Can I just add that government people are advised by the what is now called BRIN. I don't know what the acronym is. BRIN.
Yeah,
BRIN is what it contains is the scientific authority. So advice about environmental issues and about wildlife issues and about the management of the trade, the wildlife trade. Crucially, there are two branches of it, if you like, but they are under the umbrella of what is called BRIN these days. And these people, the reptile specialists, for example, I know some of them. and I have these discussions with them, they are the ones who would advise ministers in terms of what the best practices might be. I must say that trade, the selling, the commercialization, the commoditization of wildlife has always been foremost. If an animal or plant cannot be sold, then it has no value and nobody's really interested in it.
But also the development, you see, property development. If there's zero regulations about like would we kill those species, if we're gonna take this forest and build a giant hotel in there, they don't even have, what I understand, organizations like they have in Europe that they have to bring over to actually check before they get permission.
Well, again, you know, they have an environmental impact analysis for every development.
I was going to say that.
I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
Just bring the money, that's it, just start building.
Yes.
People who do that.
Yes.
So who's the guy in the government who actually...
Okay, like I said.
All right, so look, we're gonna. This will be the last one, and after that we can take it offline. But please, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the society, like social punishment is quite, game changing here in Indonesia. You know, if it became viral, then the government, even the president itself, gonna take care of it. You know, so if there's developments like ruin the environment, if people all talk about it, then the government gonna be present.
All right, so we're just
really very quick.
Last one, Ron.
They used to have performing monkeys in Jakarta. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to have performing monkeys anymore.
Then
I believe that was public pressure.
Public pressure.
Rather than
public pressure.
rather
Good
than
point.
somebody from on high in the government saying this has got to stop. But that has stopped now, and so it is about public awareness that has great power still, I believe.
Yeah, and again, I can add on here. Actually, the government is not going to act if we are not doing something. We are the judge here. We are the judge. We are the witness. So we're holding a hand together. We stand up for anything we don't like. The government will see. They're gonna do something. We don't care. They're not gonna do anything. Yeah. Even I have a family work in government. My brother work in the government. I can ask him to do something. Oh, okay. Can you make I have a surf camp in Lombok. I hate people bring surf school bring many people surfing on the ocean, which is causing an accident. Why don't you have a rule, you know, or put in the ocean like, okay, maximum for the surf school bring gas 5, and you have to make the timing. I asked my brother to do that. Can you put a sign like in Philippines, like, oh, the current is so strong here, the wind, and for the attention for the surf school, please bring maximum gas for every hour, so it avoid accident. Yeah, but again, even though my biological brother, he need approve. He need to hear from people, not from me alone. He need to hear from other people. I have to hold people, all other surf school, or the local in Lombok, surfer, or any business owner to be with me. Come to my brother's house, talk to him, make a recording, and my brother will show to president. Okay, look, this is my sister with all Lombok citizens. Let's do something. We are the judge, not the government.
Yeah, thank you. So this brings us towards the end now. So I just want to remember the last question for all of you is what, and we can feel some passion, right? So what drives that, right? So you know, what made you begin, right? So if you can think about that in about a minute, it's going to come to you. We'll start with Ron and we'll finish off with you, Sari, okay? So everybody else, just want to thank you for coming. So as you know, we're here every Monday, 6 o'clock for a 6:25 go live, right? Remember here, Tropical Nomad, again, coffees, teas, food. So this restaurant or cafe, Nomad Cafe, stays open to about 8:20. That's the last order. So if you want anything, coffee's great, by the way, feel free to hop in there and order. And then I guess wrapping up from me, my name is Robert Ian Bonnick, as I mentioned before. So RIB and Associates is a growth strategist and a gateway to Indonesia for foreign and domestic medium to large size companies. So if you need any help there, please feel free to look us up. And who have we got? We've got Ayu, Guzman, and Hadis. Thank you very much indeed for always our technical partner here, making us look good, sound good, and feel good. And finally, look, we've had, I really didn't know how tonight was going to go. I never do, actually. It was our brother Toby from Lombok over here that said, Rob, why don't you do this? And Toby, I love Toby. So I was like, you know what? And it just felt like it was something that we needed to do. And so I just want to thank all of you for being a part of this. You know, Ron, Hananto, Sister Sari. And again, it's something which I think Jana's question last kind of stirred up some things in here, which, again, I think we've covered the whole kind of gamut of this, from the fact that as we began, you know, that there is pressure on the environment every day through things being built. This is displacing wildlife, flora and fauna. That's creating some impacts, some real impacts for us and for the animals, flora and fauna. So then tonight was about what do we do? And we've got some really good practical steps and practical tips to actually do that, so know that we can minimize it as best that we can. What do we do if we come face to face with either, you know, a snake or a monkey? We've got some really great tactics and things to learn and understand about that. And then we have this reminder, top view of, yeah, so what is it that we can actually do to change things? And as in many other industries, you know, to expect of any country, a government to make a change, it comes from the people. And as we kind of came back to at the end, we're looking for the right people in the government, which is also very good. But as you said, it comes down to us. Yep. So then what is it that we will do, or you will do watching this, to basically have an impact on this, right? So coming back to our last question, you know, what is your passion? Why do you do this? Because it's very selfless, what you're all doing. So start with you, Ron. So why do you do what you do? And, you know, maybe there was one experience, because you're a great storyteller, one experience that kind of started you on this journey. What would that be?
Can I just say, from all of us here, thank you for allowing us to have this platform to speak to a wider audience, and that's very valuable. It's very valuable to us, and I hope that there are some ideas that, you know, you can go away with, and you can think about these things. So, short story. When I was a very young boy, I watched a series by David Attenborough, his first TV series that was called Zoo Quest. And one of those programs was called Zoo Quest for a Dragon, and it was him and his filmmaker coming to Bali to film Komodo dragons for the first time. And I can't answer your question. I don't know why it fascinated me so much, but I begged my parents were not rich, but I asked them, please, if I can get hold of this book, Zoo Quest for a Dragon, that would be my favorite present. I mean, I have a treasured copy of this still now. Many, many years later, because I thought, this is so amazing, the dragons living on an island in somewhere called Indonesia. Many, many years later, I did my master's program in Komodo, studying dragons. It took a long, long time, but it was a childhood dream that came true. I spent months in Komodo with the dragons, and so I have to thank David Attenborough for that, really. But to say what that spark was, I don't know. I also had some very good mentors, older people that I knew in the museum, and I knew animal keepers at that time, and I had a very small but very dedicated group of friends. So when most of my friends were out watching the football matches in Leicester City, I was out in the countryside looking for beetles and snakes and lizards and frogs. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but
it does. Thank you very much. It does. Hananto, over to you, my brother.
Okay. Well, I always had a passion with wildlife, with nature. I like to go to the wildlife, enjoy the beautiful of it, to feel the freshness of it, of the nature. I used to roam a lot back when I was still a child, because I have plenty place to roam. But now not anymore. I kind of pity for my children because they don't have a lot of option. I do love in Australia. They have like in the housing they have certain place for for green area and stuff. Yeah. That's why I like my children to experience wildlife as much as I do back in my childhood. That's why I used to join for environmental awareness. I did active in urban farming society back in my place. So when Sari asked me to join her, I'm like, well, it's like my chance to bring like some different approach to the rescue. All right. So I told her about the cultural aspect about the monkeys, and I make sure we have the right connection with certain agencies and stuff like that. And about the research, we go to the Udayana. For the research, we go to Udayana University. We happen to talk to one of the lecturer about the about our program and stuff. Yeah, I think to inherit the wildlife for my kids. Yeah, I think that's what drives me the most.
I can hear that, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sister Sari.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I just love nature. I love anything about ocean, about primates. I love nature so much. So I like make my own garden. When I was small, I know many different plants. I know ginger plant. I know every plant, which is my parents shocked me. Why Sari knows this is a plant? We go somewhere in like a farm tour in India, in Goa. I said, oh, this is the the plant. You know black pepper? What they look like? They look like they are going through the coconut or palm. So people didn't know it was a black pepper. So I know that's a black pepper. So I just love make my own garden at home. I love to make my own salad at home from my own garden. I love protecting animal. Honestly, I will dedicate myself, like I will protect monkey. Not long-tailed macaque, but orangutan kind of monkey that. The long-tailed macaque is, like it or not, believe it or not, is 90% of our DNA. 90%. Same. Yeah. So our DNA. The long-tailed macaque DNA. So for me, it's like lucky I have a children also who love animal. They're not afraid.
Yeah. Four kids.
And 43 monkey at home.
Wow. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. A round of applause, please, for Ron, Lilley, Hananto, Sari. We'll see you next week.